In this video, I want to talk about how SMMA, in the way that people think about it traditionally, is saturated and getting even more saturated very, very quickly, right? I'm not talking about SMMA as a whole, right? When we traditionally think about SMMA, it's 1 to 2K retainers doing Facebook ads for local businesses, right? And that's where the majority of people who have came into the market looking to get rich quick, maybe they've, consumed content from influencers like course sales, whatever it may be, that's the way that they're looking at SMMA. Therefore, that's the way that a huge amount of people have came into the market, and that's where the influx is, right? SMMA as a whole, in the way that it's thought about, will never be saturated. Providing services to other businesses online, like that will never not work, right? Obviously there's huge amounts of niches, there's huge amounts of offers, there's huge amounts of problems that you can solve with any offer to any business struggling with any sort of problem, right? Yet people don't see those thousands of options. People don't see those thousands of different pain points, those thousands of different things that they can do to solve problems for businesses, because they've just seen one specific guru or one specific person, most likely that I've seen online, succeed with, helping gyms scale with 1 to 2K a month retainers, right? Doing that as a complete beginner, trying to get into the market, let's say you're below 10K a month right now and you don't really have any experience, let's say you're at 0, right? Trying to get to 10K a month with that same model, right? That might have worked back in 2017 when Facebook ads genuinely was an offer, right? It's not gonna work now. Yes, it might do. Yes, you can make it work, right? Yes, you do. You can make the argument you only have to get a few number, like a very, very, very small number of your TAM, right, to actually make that a reality. Let's say there's 20,000 gyms in the US and you only need to get 5 of them at 2K a month retainer to get to 10K a month. Yeah, these gyms are getting hit all of the time. Let's just use gyms as an example, right? All of the time they're getting reached out. So there's huge amounts of competition. There's huge amounts of people that you're competing with. The competition that these gyms are perceiving you to be up against is the same, like 18-year-old, 17-year-old kids who have no idea what they're doing. So what are they going to think about you when you then get on a call with them? They're also going to think you have no idea what you're doing. So like people get into the space because they've seen their guru succeed with a certain model. So for example, I got into the space seeing Iman Gadzhi, right? Iman Gadzhi succeeded with ecom, right? Or at least I thought he did before, there's been multiple videos come out saying that he actually earned no money with his agency, but that's a story for a different day. So I perceived him as the authority, right? So as he was the authority for me getting into the space, and the reason I was in there in the first place, I naturally went into ecom. Right? Obviously, this isn't 2016 anymore, so it didn't really work out for me when I was using the outreach methods that he taught, right? Because again, he didn't really give good info, and even if he did, just the market had completely switched. So again, it was a whole different method that was needed. So again, gurus like flooding the space with people looking to get quick with the traditional SMMA model. It is a huge problem because again, things have changed. It looks different now, and you're not going to get rich quick with SMMA, right? It's quite flawed in the model, in the traditional sense of the model. You need skills to operate a profitable agency with the SMMA model of charging like 1 to 2K a month retainers, working with local businesses, whatever that may be. There's a few reasons why it is flawed. Like number one, I'd just say the market saturation. And like I said, I want to bring it back when I'm talking about SMMA, I'm talking about the way that people go about it. So charging low ticket retainers for local businesses, right? The market for Facebook ads, like targeting local businesses, is very, very competitive, right? It's hard to stand out. It's hard to attract clients. Like if you're going into this as a complete beginner, there's so many skills you need to have. You really need to work on a full stack skill set. And like skepticism has never been higher, right? It's crazy to me because there's so many gurus out there, there's so many like course sellers, and I think at the stage we're at now in the market, it's literally never been higher. If you go on Instagram, like every third video you'll see will be someone trying to sell you a course. It's ridiculous, but none of these gurus have. Some of them are trying to, but it's crazy to me that there's so many people still pushing SMMA like in the traditional sense, and they're not coming up with any new angles, like anything that just goes against the traditional, just launch some Facebook ads for roofers. It's kind of ridiculous. But skepticism has been at an all-time high. right? There's resistance to new offers. There's loads of people doing it. They have low budgets. Like local businesses, they can't afford to pay you the money that you need to be charging to hit 10K a month in a lot of cases, because they've been burned by so many people who have no idea what they're doing, right? So it just makes it harder for people that actually do provide a good service to sign these same clients, right? So it kind of ruins it for the people that are trying to provide a decent service, right? So it can't really pay you well, low retainers, right? Like a lot of the people that you end up targeting when you're reaching out to local businesses will just be one-man bands. Like they have a huge emotional attachment to their money. It's harder for them to think logically. Like they usually act on emotion, so you've got to get better at sales. You've got to just win them over in that regard. I actually think it's easier to sign higher ticket clients because you can make a logical argument, and because they don't have that bias towards money and they just see it as capital allocation and rather than just a piece of them, right? It's much easier to get them over the line. Like I genuinely had an easier time signing like 4 or 5K a month retainers than I did signing, extremely low ticket deals, right? It's just harder, right? High client churn rate is another big thing. So when you're just talking about like SMMA or just low ticket retainers as a whole, right? And then just sign, because obviously when you charge low ticket retainers, you have to have more clients, right? To hit that revenue goal, which leads to high client churn, right? That's one of the factors that leads to high client churn, right? Because they have unrealistic expectations. Like if you work with smaller businesses, they're relying on you. Like a lot of them will, if they're one-man bands especially, they'll see you as a Hail Mary. They'll like throw 2K a month, 1K a month at you and think, okay, this is my last shot to fix my business. Like I only have like 2 months to pay this guy. If he doesn't make it work, then yeah, I can't, like I'm gonna have to quit, right? So if they don't get immediate results because they just don't have that runway of cash to give you time, they're gonna get dissatisfied very, very quickly, right? It's crazy. Like I don't want to be in a model where I'm churning through clients all the time, because number one, it's not fulfilling at all. I'm not providing any value because they just can't give me enough time. Number two, it's like the relationships are just going to be so poor because they're neurotic. They're expecting to get results ASAP. Number three is like you just can't make money. Like I want to do something that enables me to actually make money properly, right? And again, signing low ticket retainers on smaller contracts, like with businesses that just can't afford to pay you properly, is just not the way to do that, right? It's harder to scale as well, because obviously when you're charging lower amounts of money, you need more clients to hit your revenue goal, right? So you have to manage all of those clients, you have to do all the operations around that, you have to do the service delivery, right? You basically have little to no room to scale the business, right? Because all your profit margins are being taken up by all of the delivery. You're doing all the work. You have no money to reinvest back into it, right? So again, it's not a good model at all. So yeah, there's a few different things. Like I had some notes here that I was just looking over. But I mean, in terms of what a better model would be, and what I'd say for people who are getting into the space or maybe have a few clients right now but just see the flaws in the low ticket retainers in like one of the traditional niches that people talk about all the time, that they're seeing is just increasingly saturated, and they're speaking to people who basically have no money. What I would say is, and it's gonna sound crazy, but try and apply traditional business lessons into this get rich quick space. And what I'm saying by that is actually take the time up front to look at different niches, conduct market research, analyze different fields that you're interested in that have severe pain points, that like there's not people with thousands and thousands of Twitter followers just saying like jump in this niche right now, and then everyone's like yeah we're gonna jump in this niche. No, like take the time up front to actually dig in deep to a specific niche you want to go into. Maybe run something like an interview campaign, so find out their pain points. In exchange, you can offer value to them in the form of a white paper, something I've been quite big on. It's been very good. So do something like that, and yeah, like take the time up front, speak to these people, see if they have a problem. You can call them up on the phone, you can send them emails, you can ask them questions. They're more than happy to speak to you if they know you're looking to provide a solution to help their problems. And then go from there, and then work backwards. So find out what their pain is, right? Make sure that pain is consistent around that niche, and then start to build a solution. And when I say build a solution, I'm not talking about like custom software or anything like that. You know, there's tons and tons of there's just like, it will be a traditional service that you'll provide. Like right? Because you're helping them with marketing if you're watching my channel, right? So, maybe it's B2B lead generation, maybe it's Facebook ads, maybe it's content, maybe it's videos, like maybe it's marketing automation, maybe it's placing VAs, maybe it's recruiting. Like there's so much information out there that you should not be able to struggle to learn how to provide any one of these services that is required to help solve that problem, right? So that's what I would say. If you have any questions in the comments, just let me know. If you want more information about what I do, how I can help, there's a link in the description. You can go from there. See you in the next one.